Hey, g'day guys, Sam here from Trade to Prosper, giving you another update on Bitcoin and a few charts and explaining why I'm bearish and why others are wrong in terms of thinking it's a bull cycle. What we can do is look at Bitcoin from a different perspective. This is an inverted chart. So an inverted chart of Bitcoin so if this was the top, you can see the top is, and if you flip it over, you can see that it's making a bottom formation for reversal as well. So if it's the Wyckoff reversal accumulation. So what we're looking at here is predominantly wave 3 to wave 4, potentially. So if you do this count, and I do believe, just from a elliott wave perspective, when it's a strong move, it's usually a wave 1 from it's either wave 1 or wave 2 to 3 is a strong move, and this is pretty much it. Wave 3 or 4 usually is complex and usually goes sideways and a whole bunch of other stuff. And so I do believe that, like at the moment, it looks like that, yeah, we might just hit that level there. We've got a number of levels to look at before we can make up our mind how this is going to take place, because we can easily do that. We can do that as well. So this ascending wedge really for Bitcoin, and in an inverted perspective, a bull flag can find a reversal anywhere in here, and this could be a formation of some sort. Where can it go potentially past that? Probably not. I do have a few levels, so this was one of my levels based on this. And what we're seeing here at the moment, if we look at ever so closely on the, actually we didn't look at here on the 30 minutes. We can look at the 30 minutes as well. But if you look at this, you can see how that's got confluence as resistance. And so the next confluence will be from there to there if it was to go move up. Anyway, so this basically shows that if this is the neckline, which I do have for this structure, then by applying Fibonacci, as you can see, making that 1, 0, we hit the 1.618. And in the ideal situation, that would be a reversal of some significance. However, our market conditions are very different to all the other times in the bull market. And yeah, this is a relief rally in my eyes. And how far can 3 and 4 go? You could probably go to that neckline, which is 28, 29. But as many expect that would be a resistance, then yeah, it could fall short. You might just go a bit more further before it comes back. So let's flip this back and explain a few other things. Okay. What we have here at the moment, like I said, this is where the target is. So if you look at this chart, if this is an ascending wedge, this is our target. I think I've got a chart somewhere. Just give me a sec and I'll bring it out. This one's a better chart. You can see on a small time frame, this is the 4-hour. It doesn't look bullish at all. And what we have, if I was to explain this, is okay, a selling climax, a automatic response from a climax, and very, very typical wick off formation. And this is our springboard, and we made our high. And now you can see pretty much like I'll come back to it. You see, this is a good move. However, we come to a very real strong stop, and then I can understand this pullback, but that was a deep pullback. So we have. So what's happening is finding liquidity at certain levels, and you look at the volume. The volume is not impressive at all either. And what we do is barely make a higher high, barely make a high, and that has relevance to Bitcoin back here. Well, let's see. Whenever you see, let's get there. Whenever you see high highs, so we've got a high and a slightly higher high and a slightly higher high, and you can see that there's not much highs in there, and that's an ascending wedge. Yeah, it's a bigger macro, but again, what we see is this is a very typical formation. So this is a buying climax, an automatic response, and ultimate top, and then we find that big pull. That's, I think that was like 20%, and when you get 26%, and then you get the rally and then down. So my point is the psychology of higher highs, if it's not significant, it just shows that there's not much buyers in it. So there's not much buying in here, and that's what I'm trying to say is this is not a bull rally. This is a relief rally, and like I said before, in most cases, the fib extension would have been enough. That from what we measure, that was a good entry, but we can see that just looking at that formation, I was expecting maybe a bit of a bullish move like this. Whoops. I was ready to short that. If this was to go up like that, I was looking to short. And then really down. So I don't know if that's going to happen. The ascending wedge, that is the target there for this formation. But the thing is, in most cases, an ascending wedge could turn into some other formation easily. So it's not an easy market to trade. And so what you need to do is have your lines where you think, okay, if it drops below that, that's going to be bearish. That's a bit of a change in structure. At the moment, you can see on the daily, we haven't broken this fib level. So that's another point. That's a major fib level. And what I have done is this chart here. It's very comprehensive with the fibs from many angles. And what I've done is, on this chart, this is the market structure on the daily, on the 4 hour. Okay, so if we lose that, then we're going to have a deeper pull. Now, I've shared this chart before. Thanks, mate. What I've done is, look, you can see the confluence. No surprise. Look at this. All along the way down. Bang. Resistance, right? You expect that. And on top of that, I'll give you a treat. Look at this. I can put on the 8 hour. So this is all Fibonacci related. Now, if I was to shrink this chart, you don't know what's going to happen. So if I get this Fibonacci, you can see that the 1.272 was resistance. And if I was to change this to log base, you can see the 1.272 was at the top. So I thought this would be a good example of just looking from a big picture perspective. So what I did was going, okay, what does the big picture tell me? And I'll show you what I did. Right from the very bottom, I did that, this bull market as one, and we've got the 1.72 perfectly as the resistance. This was sort of a different approach. So what I did is just change the log settings, and that shrinks it down. And then you see, and I was surprised to see this, that it's got a lot of confluence. Look at that. I have my 0.68 and I have the 0.168. Look at this, perfect, right? It's really, and you can see the 0.5 really represents this level, and even here, the 0.382. So then we get our 1, which is our measure anyway. Then you got the 1.272, and that's where we came down to. So if you look closer, you can see the 1.272 is a major fib, and it's blocking it along with the trend line. So you got two elements to say that's not a good spot to short, and I did miss that. Unfortunately, I didn't find that entry. So all for now is we have an ascending channel. That's all I can say. And when you have an ascending channel, it's not really bullish. And we've got really two structures in there. So this picture here, that's what we've got. We've got two structures separated, and like you can see, I did from the bottom to the top. It's broken the 618, and it's broken the trend line as well. So what we can expect, maybe we might find some support. If we ever get past that, if we regain that trend line, that will be a bullish move, but it needs to hold it before we can go up. I don't think that's going to happen just by seeing this. Now, having said that, I'll just bring another feature into this. Historically, we have this. So this is another tool that I use. Just having some tea at the same time. When we look at this, this is the open interest for this chart on the 4 hour, even on the daily. We actually find some consistency in terms of finding the bottom and finding the top. they all reflect pivot points. Now we've got this open interest, so I do think it's going to go back up based on this open interest. And if we're getting close, you can see the yellows are intense. So if we drop past that, then I think 23,100 will be our next level of support. So you can look at that and you can see, yep, it measures up with this volume profile. So this volume profile is showing that we are pretty much below this level and we couldn't hold it. So right there and there we are. Yeah, I don't know if you can see that. So this, I'm just wondering if this open interest needs to go up really high for this to reverse. So far this has been consistent as support. So we've got a double support there. So let's see what Bitcoin's on at the moment. It's still dropping. So anyway, so that from that perspective, we're in a downtrend. You can argue that this is a way. So what I've been saying is, when you have a strong move like that, another strong move like that, it's either going to be wave 1 to 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, because that's a strong move, and it can't be wave 4 to 5. No way. I'm just using basic Fibonacci elite wave theory. That a strong move like that can't be wave from 4 to 5. It just doesn't make sense. Yeah, this is a complex one, so that you can say that is a 1 and a 2, but definitely from 2 to 3, that's I do see as a wave 3. So the question is, if this comes down here, would it break above? So this is when we break that trend line, then we can look at this outer rim and then back down again. That's my opinion. This is a bullish perspective going that way. Otherwise, we might just come down like that, and that's the target. And we might get another rally, but eventually we're just going to drop off. And this is my main area of interest, because if that's wave 3 and 4, wave 5, based on this strategy I've done, it's a channel. I did the pitchfork and I just removed the pitchfork. I don't know if I still got it, but it's very very consistent. If you look at this, the lines really measure up, and so I'm thinking that is, and it's next to the 618 from the way I explained it. So if we just do this, and if we got from here to there, even that it sort of lines up as well, 618 there. Cool. And not to say that we've got the monthly chart, so let's look at the monthly. That was my short entry. I was hoping that would get to that target using a different method. Didn't quite get there. Let me see the monthly chart. Okay, so monthly. The monthly chart shows that, okay, we're still not bullish because the reversal, so I've got the Phoenix tool here, the reversal is when it crosses over. Now, I won't rely on the RSI. RSI is not as good as this Phoenix one. So what we'll want to see is this crossover, so to become bullish. And that will require, a few green candles. So actually, and what we want to see is the momentum indicator at 50%. Look at where the momentum is here. It's all the way down here. What is it? What's the value? 15%. No way near being bullish on the monthly. Nowhere near. Other times where you saw, you got a red candle, capitulation, and then a bit of a slowdown on the red candles, and then you got a green candle. You can see after the green candle, the next month is pretty much above 50%. So the momentum's to the upside. We don't have nothing. It's all down there. So the Phoenix indicator is pretty good. Now what we can do is look at the 2-week indicator and see what it shows. So the 2-week indicator shows that around here, right in the middle there, the 50%. After that 2-week candle, we had some momentum to the upside. Yep. But you look at that. Look at these other indicators on the RSI. Nowhere near. This one hasn't crossed over yet. Crossing over. So the blue is the average. In the past, if we saw 50%, that's the 50% level, and then we had the black one coming above 50%. That's when we had the bull run, and you can see that's measured up with the 10 and 20 moving average. This one hasn't even come to the 10 and 20 moving average on the 2-week. And what the other aspect is, okay, we haven't crossed that either. Yeah, we can do it from number ways, but see how it was going to cross over, it would have been great. It didn't cross over. So even the 2-week doesn't give us a bullish scenario. And that reflects the weakness in it. In most cases, you see a big red candle comes up with a bit of a good response. So here, yes. So historically, looking at it, just from a visual perspective, historically, that would have been a bottom. But this is a bull, pretty much a bull run all the way through. In this case, I think it's just going to be different circumstances. Inflation is different, interest rates are different, stock markets is different. And so what we want to see is something go above 50%. Anything goes above 50% on the RSI, it's bullish. That's a bit late, 50% there. So the crossover is pretty good indicator. So when we get this at above 50%, first that, and these are crossed over, great. These ones, okay, I'm just looking for the last cross, but so that this was a decider for bull run. And well, we've got how many weeks? We've got 11 days. So we'll see what happens there. I still think we could potentially have I think what we're doing is this here. So what we're having is we've got 2 weeks, or 2 green candles on the 2 weeks. So it's pretty much 4 weeks. Green, green, and then red, red. So we've got three here, green, 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 and we might have red, red, and potentially another bottom and then up, or further down. Who knows? But I do think it might just. We need to see slow down. So when this comes back down, we want to see it slow down and start making a cup shape like that. So and we will look at these, but at the moment there's nothing there. So this might just come down a bit and then break through. And if that line comes through, that's a good indicator as well to go all in. But at the moment, let's look at that's broken the trend line. What I want to see is here. All right, so what we have here is where is it? So the SP 500. SP 500 has come to a key level from the swing high to the swing low. This is a 200 weekly moving average. It's at the 0.618. Historical support here as well. So this is the weekly, and so therefore it's finding resistance along with the trend line. So this might just come back all the way down. it'll be nice to see that break above. If that breaks above, then Bitcoin will pretty much do the same. What we're seeing here is pretty much a slowdown, but it hasn't crossed over. If this crosses over, then we're going to get a deep entry. So that's one aspect. Looking at these indicators. Just give me a sec. Yeah, Ethereum's dropped a fair bit as well. Okay. So when we look at this, that is the SP500 chart from a different perspective. It hit the 200 daily SMA as well. And here, it's our white one. So it's hit the 200 daily SMA. It's also hit that key Fibonacci level and the trend line. That is a strong resistance. I don't see how that's going to break through anytime soon. And I do expect a bit of a pullback. Now, if we look at the general market, this is the US dollar or the Dixie. And you can see this was pretty much a channel. The way it looked like it wasn't a reversal. It was going sideways. And it's broken above the 0.618. And it's got a daily candle there. So it's holding. And because it's gone green, let's see. It's a live market. So it's going strong, and that's pushing Bitcoin down and the others down. So strong dollar, weak stocks. Here we have the Nasdaq. It's also just give us a green. A red. It's giving us a red one as well. So now it's got a rejection at the 0.5 fib level, along with its trend line. So the Nasdaq is in sequence as well. So they're all dancing with the US dollar. And what we have here is Bitcoin also reflecting the others dropping down as well. And I think Bitcoin will have more amplitude in that response. So I don't think we'll just drop all the way down very quickly, but it will be that we might spend a bit of time here going up sideways before we drop. What are we? We're August 18. September, the Fed will probably do interest rate of 0.75 increase, which many people expect. That's what the market is saying. So if that's the case, it might just drop a bit more and the US dollar go up a bit more. The euro's doing crap. And the only reason why inflation hasn't really gone up is the US or the Biden administration has pretty much dropped some fuel prices down, subsidized, so that gives the markets a chance not to increase prices. But the major energy companies, oil companies, probably got surprised by that, and what they want to do is reduce the amount of oil out there and increase the prices. So it's going to be a bear market irrespective. There's going to be downward pressure. I just want to know what's the best entry for shorting when that happens. So if we lose this key level, looking at this chart, this is the market daily. That will break the market structure on the daily, not the weekly, but the daily. So if we look at the 3 daily chart, so even the 3 daily, so that's 3 days of red candle engulf the other. So we sort of have the 3 daily there, and this trend line is going to make the difference really. So if we do this, okay, so it's a 0.236. If we lose that on the 3 day, but we'll make it to the daily. Let's see what that looks like. Okay, there we go. So that's a key level for short term. But you never know that it could just drop completely. You got to be careful holding on. have your levels and get out. So I did sell a bit of my Bitcoin when we lost the neckline. That was a neckline. So that's one level on the short term we lost. And if we lose that, rest assured it will come down here, 22,480, and maybe find a bounce. I do think that we might just get a bounce from here. And so I don't think we'll get that. It doesn't seem right. I think we'll come down here and try to do that. If we could rally above and then go up, that's different. But I do think like that there's going to get a bounce and then a rejection further down, and then complete the target here for this wedge. So our wedge is pretty much, that's a mini wedge, ascending wedge within a macro. If you can see that. All right, now what do we have for the other charts? Matic is pretty much doing something similar, but at a higher level. It's broken that ascending wedge, so it's got this moving average. It's a 200 on the 4-hour, and geez, it's looking bad as well. I was looking to go along with this, and it's dropping, so long term wise, it might be a good one. Clayton missed that shorting opportunity. It's not looking good at all. Ada, let's see what's Ada doing. Okay, Ada's starting to lose ground as well. Ooh. Ada was never looking good. And you can see all these reds. Bugger. So the altcoins, so we must. Let's see. So tether dominance. Okay, I did say there was upward pressure, and there it's going on both. So tether dominance and USDC dominance. So this is coming to our resistance level, the 20 moving average. This has got the 10. However, if you look at the Phoenix, there was a lot of bullish divergence in there. Now it's breaking to the upside. There might be a follow through the way this looks like. We've got the crossover. Don't worry about the MACD. MACD is a bit not as responsive. So you can see the tether's crossed over. The question is, how high can it go? So for the short term, we've got upward pressure for US tether dominance and the other. And I'll try to save that. And Bitcoin dominance should be going up. Not much yet. Okay. So this is okay, 3 days. So look at the daily. Hasn't really gone up that much. But the indicators seem to be showing that we got upward momentum. Not so much. It still hasn't. The alts are still doing better than Bitcoin, but we can see a bit of bullish divergence taking place. So dominance hasn't changed yet, but I'll be careful because here was our historical. Give us a sec. This was our historical resistance, and if you go across, we're right at it now. So if it breaks, then we'll go to the next level. Got to be very mindful of that. And this could be just like that. Okay. Keep an eye on that as well. And Solana, not looking good. It's disappointing on Solana, to tell the truth. Let's look at Ethereum. Geez, even links dropped a fair bit. Oh, damn it. Optimum, actually, might just do this. Our optimum has broken. Oh, okay, we've broken that neckline. This is going to go. So this moving average might help out a bit, but I was talking about the potential breakout. Nothing held. So this is going to come down to the 0.5, and probably even worse further down. Bitcoin keeps dropping. So that's crap. So this might come down all the way down here. That's up. So we've got that one there, that level. I do think that it might just actually end up here in the long term, come back down. So a bit of a, every time it tries to go up, sold. And let's go to the 4 hour. Yeah, so it went above, but didn't, now it's come back down. So even 4 hour looks negative. Missed that shorting opportunity. Yeah, Phoenix is always, actually that looks pretty bad. It's even ahead of the signal. So okay. We might just see a bit of a bounce here from the midline, but that's not looking good at all. Let's see Ethereum. So what I have in Ethereum, and I think it could play out. If you look at this historically, we had a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 all the way down, and if you look at the bounce, it hit the 0.382, and if you do the Fibonacci extension, 0.618. So that was a strong resistance. Now, if we use that same method, you can see, let's just hide that for a sec. We did a fib extension to 0.618 and the 0.382, very similar to this situation historically, from the bottom to the top, 0.382 when you look at the macro. So this is a 0.382. Now I think we are below it. So look at it. We had a bit of a, to that neckline, so we have a bit of extra strength. Does that look like a, I do think there's a good chance they can do this. Yeah. If Bitcoin drops, I think this is definitely going to continue going down, and we might get a good response. I don't think it will drop all the way down, but who knows? Historically, that Ethereum dropped, but those demands were different. We know we're getting Ethereum version 2 with the upgrade fork, and so this might be just the bottom, but got to be careful. Good opportunity short. I didn't take that. I just pretty much closed my margins. So yeah, so that's looking on the daily. 3 daily actually. So if you look on the daily, yeah, that's not good at all. So by Bitcoin, 1, 2, 3, 4 red candles in. Yeah, so that's pretty bearish. We haven't broken market structure yet. So if it loses that level there, it's going to be bad for Ethereum. Near bugger. Like I didn't buy too much of those Nears. So Near's capitulating. It's dropping hard. Okay. So there's a lot of shorting opportunities, and you can see on the daily that was pretty much a topping formation, and that's a strong drop from the RSI perspective. And ADA's lost that neckline, so ADA's dropping fair bit. Ethereum still has the 20 moving average. Is that the 20 or the 50? Okay, it's on the 50 moving average on the Fibonacci, so it might have a bit of strength. We might just use that line there. Could be. Yeah, I don't know why that was there, but that's pretty much bit of support there, but so it's dropped through, and realistically there's not much. Just the 8-hour. Okay, yeah, let's see the other indicators, and that's pretty bearish. Yeah. So I think that's a change in trend as well. Or link's not looking good. All right, that's all I got for now, guys. So giving you my perspective, Bitcoin, I think it's going to come down. I don't see SP 500 going up anytime soon. I think this is pretty much it, and this is pretty much a bearish structure as well. Might find a double top, but I don't think that was the case here with these ones. So yeah, there might not be much of a rally if it does come like that. So if you just get ready to short. This might just come down here before it does that. Not even probably come up to here. So if that drops, then that's the next level down. And if you do that, you can see that becomes a head and shoulders as well. Who knows? But so far everything looks bearish. I'm going to wrap it up on that, guys. So please give me a like and share, and I'll talk to you soon. Cheers.